going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be starting a new What If on this channel. It's been a while since I independently made a new What If, and I kinda need a break from the previous What Ifs for a little bit so I can come up with good ideas on how to continue them. So, it's time for a new story. If you guys want to chat with me or just check out the memes I post, make sure to check out my Instagram over at DamonIsHere, I guess. And if you want to chat Dragon Ball with me and others who like this channel, make sure to join the Discord server, which is linked down below. Now, with that out of the way, let's get right into the video. We're going to be diving in on what may have happened if King Kai actually decided to train Piccolo, Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu in the art of Kaio-Ken and the Spirit Bomb. As King Kai stated in canon, this group wanted even harder training than Goku, so in this story, we're going to make sure that they get that. Once the group hear about the threat of Frieza and Namek, they decide they need to train intensely if they want to be a match and help out in any way. King Kai spends his time teaching the basics of Kaio-Ken. Now, we don't know how long it took Goku to learn the Kaio-Ken on King Kai's planet. He was there from May 29th to November 3rd, which was roughly 6 months, and he was only able to achieve a max of ×4 Kaio-Ken. But Goku was also devoting his time to chasing bubbles, getting used to the gravity, and learning the Spirit Bomb. Kaio-Ken wasn't his sole focus. For the Z Fighters currently, they only have 6 days to devote all of their time to the Kaio-Ken, to be able to face off against Frieza. Since Gohan and Krillin are going to need all the help they can get, all of the Z Fighters solely focused their time on the Kaio-Ken, since they're going to need extra muscle. Now, the time it took from when they arrived on King Kai's planet to when Porunga is summoned is only 6 days. As in canon, they arrived on December 18th, and Piccolo was brought back on December 24th. The wish to have Piccolo revived is made as normal, and Piccolo is slightly stronger than what he was in canon. Piccolo devoted his entire time with King Kai to pushing himself ahead with the Kaio-Ken to increase the multiplier greater than Goku's. Unfortunately though, he was only there for 6 days. He managed to increase the multiplier to a max of only ×2, as with ×3 his body will surely break down. Except, this is where the fusion between him and Nail will benefit him greatly. Fusing with Nail increases Piccolo's power and durability greatly, so he'll be able to increase his Kaio-Ken to a max of ×5 now. Once Piccolo arrives on the battlefield, he is able to beat up Frieza, without Frieza landing a single blow on Piccolo this time. This is without him even needing to use the Kaio-Ken. Frieza powers up into his third form much faster than usual and beats Piccolo down. But as we know, Piccolo isn't going all out. He takes off his weighted clothing and yells out Kaio-Ken. Piccolo increases his Kaio-Ken to ×3 and begins his battle with third form Frieza. Piccolo is successfully able to match with Frieza equally, and Gohan has no need to interfere, since Piccolo seems to be handling this very well. Frieza is losing ground fast, and Piccolo keeps increasing his level to ×4, pushing Frieza back greatly. Frieza has had enough and says he's going to transform into his final form, but Piccolo isn't having that. He's putting Frieza on the back foot, but this isn't an easy battle for him, as he's getting winded pretty quickly. He knows that if Frieza manages to transform again, there's no way he's going to be able to win this. Piccolo decides to go for broke, and he increases his level to the max of ×5 and completely bodies Frieza. Frieza has no chances to fight back, and Piccolo increases the level one more time to ×6, and fires a special beam cannon directly at Frieza, piercing right through him, and killing the tyrant once and for all. Piccolo managed to save the universe, and avenge the Namekian people. Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin stare in awe at Piccolo, as he actually managed to stop Frieza after they were only playthings to him. Piccolo is exhausted, and collapses to the ground, with Gohan rushing over to hug him, and congratulate him on winning the battle. Shortly after, Goku is successfully healed, and heads over to the battlefield, and is surprised to see that it was Piccolo who killed Frieza. Goku thanks Piccolo for the great work, although he is a little disappointed that he never got a chance to fight against Frieza, and Vegeta is still in complete shock on how a Namekian managed to outclass him by so much, even though he was leagues above him a couple of months ago. Back on Earth, Mr. Popo managed to gather the Dragon Balls, and made the wish to revive all the people who were killed by Frieza, as this will restore all of the Namekians, and allow them to get a new Grand Elder, and a new set of Dragon Balls. Once the Namekians are revived, they thank Piccolo for saving them, and say that once their Dragon Balls are restored, they'll use them to wish back their fallen friends. Goku thanks the Namekians for their help, and they return back to his ship, and get back to Earth. Once back on Earth, Goku wants to train with Piccolo to help increase his power and Kaio-Ken usage, which Piccolo would gladly agree to. Back on King Kai's planet, Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu continue their training under King Kai, and since there's not an immediate threat there that they know of approaching, they're able to successfully learn and perfect the Kaio-Ken and Spirit Bomb. On May 3rd of age 763, the Namekian Dragon Balls are restored, and this time, Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu are all revived at the same time. The three thank King Kai for the training, and leave the planet back down Snake Way, and return to Earth. The three humans have managed to get their Kaio-Ken to around ×10 during their time on the planet, and are still trying to increase it more so every day. Krillin and Gohan feel kinda left out since they're basically the only ones now who don't know this technique, but Goku tells him not to worry as he can teach the form to them himself. Vegeta is pretty angry that now everyone is getting a gigantic increase in power, but he is too proud to ask Goku to teach him the move, so he goes off on his own to train and get even stronger than before. Eventually, future Trunks arrives and delivers the heart medicine, explaining that in the future, even with all the Z fighters getting much stronger, they still weren't a match against the androids, and they're going to need a transformation much stronger. Trunks shows off his Super Saiyan form to Goku, and tells him this is a form he needs to achieve if he wants any chance against the androids. Goku is blown away by the sheer power of this transformation, and tells Trunks he's going to try his hardest to get the form. Trunks is happy to hear that, and departs back to his future. Goku trains even harder than ever, and since Trunks explained that Super Saiyan was accessed by rage, he remembered the loss of Grandpa Gohan, the death of Krillin by Tambourine, the death of his friends by the Saiyans, and he turns that rage he felt into power, and he successfully manages to become a Super Saiyan. Now we have even harder training going on, with the Super Saiyan Goku, and Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin training with him, using the Kaio-Ken. Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu are off training together for the androids as well. 3 years pass, and everybody boosts their power tremendously. Goku has gotten Super Saiyan, while he never went to Yardrat in this scenario, he's gotten much better training in. Piccolo has increased his Kaio-Ken greatly, and hits times 30, and he can match together against Goku extremely well. It took a little bit of time to teach Gohan and Krillin the Kaio-Ken, but not too long that took away from Goku's training. Gohan has managed to get a max of times 10 in all these years, mainly due to his smaller body not being able to maintain the technique for very long. Krillin has managed to boost his Kaio-Ken to times 25, which is better than Gohan, but not as good as Piccolo. Krillin already had a disadvantage from the other humans, mainly because he learned the Kaio-Ken while being alive, so his body was hurting a lot when he began training, rather than it not being an issue for the others, since they were all dead when they learned it. But times 25 isn't bad at all, and he is much more powerful than he is in canon. Tien, Yamcha, and Chaozu have all gotten much more proficient with their Kaio-Ken. These three trained the longest to learn this move with King Kai, and I'll say they've basically all mastered this technique, and can now use it at times 50 without feeling any drain from it whatsoever. And if you don't know, times 50 is the multiplier for Super Saiyan, so these three basically have their own Super Saiyan multiplier now, which is going to be insanely useful in the future. The gap between the others isn't gigantic like in canon, as everybody, even Chaozu, are relatively close in power. Power levels aren't exactly relevant anymore, so here's just where everybody ranks in power. Goku is still the strongest, due to him getting many Zenkais with training, plus training with so many powerful warriors. His Super Saiyan is also much more maintainable than Kaio-Ken, so he has an advantage over the others in that aspect. Piccolo and Tien are both neck and neck with their power, as Piccolo has a higher base power than Tien, so even with his lower Kaio-Ken multiplier, he can match Tien when he goes all out. Yamcha is next, with him being only slightly weaker than Tien, since again, his base is slightly weaker than his. Gohan is after him, with his base being very powerful, but he has a much smaller multiplier than the others, due to his body not being able to handle the Kaio-Ken as well as them. Krillin is weaker than Gohan, even with his higher level of Kaio-Ken, and that's because Gohan has gotten more Zenkais, something Krillin can't get, so he's still behind in terms of base strength. And finally, we have Chaozu, who's only last because he has a very weak base power. He's been training, but as we see in canon, Chaozu doesn't seem to get much stronger with training, as he is always too weak to get into the big fights. But he's only able to qualify on this list since Kaio-Ken times 50 boosts him pretty high. 3 years of training has done wonders for everyone here, and they're all ready for the fight against the androids. That, however, is going to be saved for the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this part, and make sure to like the video and subscribe, so I know that you guys want more parts. Thanks for watching everybody, and until we meet again, see you later!